Welcome, everybody. This is our monthly live chat. I hope to make this a new tradition. I've been doing it because I know people have been sending me messages and asking me to update what's going on with me with my treatments for lymphoma, and people are curious. And so I figure I want to tell everybody the same thing. So it's easiest to just tell you all at once. Leanne, good to have you. So anyhow, I guess I'll just get right into that, and then we'll go on to other fun things. We have a sale tonight. We're going to be doing a bunch of show and tell before that. I need to acknowledge a bunch of you who have been very kind and sent me things to keep me going, either with merchandise or books or things to keep me healthy. And so we'll talk about that some too. Uh, so Basically, what's going on as far as treatments? Well, today, if you saw the shorts channel, I have a short on there. I had my chest draining that's been happening one side or the other every week since this all was discovered. And it does definitely help. It makes it possible to talk without being breathy with you. And they took 2 liters of fluid out of the I'm seeing a note that we haven't got that up yet. Well, you'll see it in the shorts feed if you look in the next day or two. But anyway, they take fluid out of me, and it helps me to breathe better, lets my lungs expand back to where they're supposed to be. And the fluid was actually a healthier color this time, and that's a really good sign. It's not a peachy color anymore. And that, they said, was definitely a sign of progress. They're also having to take less out each time. Hopefully after my next treatments next week, that will start to abate. Some of the other symptoms are starting to leave, and a lot of my stuff, it's still out of the normal range. My bad protein is 5 times higher than it should be, but it was 10 times higher when I started. So we are seeing progress. That's a good thing. I did have my foot swell up and is sore, so the nurse practitioner is coming tomorrow to take a look at that. So, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and 1 slightly painful step. It's not really a big deal. I can still walk around and get around. They made me go to emergency to have it looked at this week to make sure it wasn't blood clotting or a fracture. And it wasn't, so that's good news. They're trying to figure out what to do about that now. And they're going to redo the formula that they give me when they do the chemo and antibody infusion, because the good news is that with the extra supplements and the things that my nutritionist has been having me do, my immune system is still kicking way more than they thought it would be at this point, which is great on one hand, but on the other hand, it means that I'm resisting the stuff they're putting in me a little bit more than they thought I would be. And because of that, I'm having to, they're going to have to reformulate it a little, because what's been happening is that I have a reaction, they have to stop it, and then they have to put steroids in, and the steroids cause insomnia like you can't believe. Like, I'm not sleeping for days, like over a week, both rounds of treatments. And so that's not so great. So it's tough to lose a third of the month every time. So they're going to try to change that, and hopefully that will make things better. So, and thank you all for your well wishes. I'm definitely, the nutritionist has been very helpful. All of you have been really helpful. You've really helped keep up my spirits. And a few of you, several of you actually, have been sending some things. Oh, yeah, I see some of you saying you've been there and had this. And yes, the steroid infusions are not fun. I don't deal well with steroids in general. So, oh, yes, I see what you mean. Yep. Yep, I see what you mean about lymph fluid goes to the lowest point, and because my lymph nodes are still not working properly, I think that's why I have the foot situation, but I'm keeping it elevated and staying off of it as much as I can, while still going around and doing some stuff while I can. They're saying after this round of treatments that it will affect my immune system, or it may impact how much I'm able to get out and source and do things. And the other thing is that, uh, yes, the hair. I'm noticing I'm getting little gray tufts. And that's actually unusual in my family. We usually keep our hair color into our 70s. So I know that's a side effect as well. But if I have to look like a distinguished older gentleman when this is over, well, I just like the opportunity to become a distinguished older gentleman. So I will take it. Um, Someone asked how I'm typing if this is live. I'm not actually typing. That may be Zeno helping with some things as well. So, and yes, I will be excited for all this to be done and be back to normal, but we'll get there, and that's okay. This is what, you know, life has its seasons. Right now, this is what I'm doing, and that's because that's what I need to be doing. And like I said, a lot of people have been so generous with things, and this is definitely going to come into play as I get further along and am less able to go out and source and more housebound. And a lot of folks have sent me some really neat things, both in terms of some merchandise, but also in terms of things to keep me occupied. And so I wanted to thank you very much and recognize that. Linda Gendro early in the year sent me some really beautiful costume jewelry, which I would show you, but it's under it's in a case and in storage right now, since I'm not doing shows. Also, I saw. Let me see. I think I can show some of these things. Hang on a second. Um, a few people have sent me some good books. Lena Ray has actually sent me three, one on Mount St. Helens, one on the Antarctic, so that I can see where my dad was when he was in the 50s. And then this one, which I thought was so appropriate. This one is called Nomads. And I just thought that was really fun. The nomads, of course, are typically in the desert, and she spent some time in Dubai, so I suspect this is a book she read as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I also, Cindy in Southern Oregon, um, I she's somebody who views, and I bought some things from her early in the year, and she supplied me with this book about Josephine County, Oregon, where they had a gold rush. It was also on the way to the gold rush in California. It's a rather interesting part of Oregon that I have been through and found quite surprising and very beautiful. So I'm looking forward to reading up about that. So I have some good reading to do now. And while I'm doing that, I had the very kindness, another book that came was from Danny Lynn, who is Oodalali Shop, and she and her family's last name is Link. And they sent me this, which is The Stage to Link City. And it looks like a really great 50s Western book, or 60s. And so I am definitely looking forward to reading this. And I don't know whether they're related to Link City, but we're going to find out. Also, not just from her, but a couple of you, um, Carol Sue and Joan Trainer, who are both in the chat, as well as Miss Udalali, who I don't think is with us tonight, sent some really wonderful things to help me along, something to do while I'm reading, and also because I am supposed to be drinking certain kinds of herbal teas and such. And so Joan sent me a Don Blanding book called Floridays, which is so appropriate for me because I love Don Blanding, and Florida, of course, is the place that I sell. And one of the things I love about Don Blanding is the wonderful illustrations. He was as much an illustrator as a poet and prose writer, and he just did really, really cool stuff. Very 1930s, has an Art Deco feel, all in silhouette. It looks a lot like block prints. And yes, this one's in wonderful condition, great cover. Let me show you another one. I just love the fish. And if Don Blanding seems familiar to you, it might be because he designed this, which Joan also sent. And it is this pattern of cup and saucer. And this is, he did a few lines for Vernon Kilns. This one is called Leilani. And it's just beautiful. He spent most of his time in Hawaii and was influenced by the Hawaiian flowers. And I just love this. And it's funny, I bought and sold this over the years. I never kept a piece for myself before. So now I have a teacup, and it's perfect because Miss Udalali sent a big kit with an herbal tea that's anti-inflammatory, and we have a nice little outdoor area that I can sit and relax outside, because they say it's good to get fresh air and sun even if I'm not running around a lot. And so she sent a pair of these, and they do have the saucer. This is a Johnson Brothers, so my housemate and I can have these under the umbrella for outdoors, and then I have the Leilani for indoors. So thank you all very much for all of that. And Carol Sue sent a bunch of medicinal tea as well. And Miss Udalali sent me some tea balls and infusers for it. So I am set up, and it's just great and really kind of all of you. She also sent something that I think that she makes, and yes, I thought they were really pretty, actually. I really am enjoying the teacups. It's something that I've always bought and sold and never thought to collect on my own, and now I actually need some. So this is a stone. Miss Udalali is making jewelry now, and this is something that came from her. And of course, they say that stones have healing properties, and I need to read her description more about what kind of a stone this is, but I thought that was really pretty. In fact, I think I'll put it on right now. There we go. And there's also, gosh, she was really generous. There's a bunch of little stuff in here, and I'm not going to open it all in front of you because I know what that's like. I remember being a kid and going to people's birthday parties and being like, why do I have to watch you open all your presents? But anyhow, thank you for all of that. It was very kind. And then I have had, I'm going to set this gently down, so give me just a moment. I want to make sure that these are all right here. Okay. And then I've also had a slideshow in home movies too. Yes, well, funny you mentioned slideshow. I've had a couple of folks who, because so far I've actually had some really remarkable luck with sourcing. A friend of mine who conducts estate sales, Gretchen, who you saw in one of the estate sale videos, she had a bunch of leftovers from a good estate sale that she held, and she had me come to her home and buy because she knows that I have to be careful about where I go out, which was really kind. And I bought a lot of really neat stuff from her. Some of it you will see soon as we start to list it. I've had a few other people who have sent me things as well to help tide me over during this time as time goes on. I'm not using any antique medical devices. When we post the short in another day or two, you'll see the device they use when they take the fluid off of me. And I've actually had the antique version of that device before. It's actually not very different than the modern one. Some things have really advanced, and some things, they got it perfected a long time ago. So I wanted to show some things. Carol Sue sent this, and I want to make sure I keep this all straight. First of all, I mentioned some of this came because I didn't have the opportunity to go to Teak Stock, and these were things they put aside. I've always liked this Pyrex in the lime green, and so she sent the lime green pie plate, and also a number of pieces of jewelry, including a couple of things in white. This has a little iridescence. These are 1960s or 70s, and you can tell this one actually, when you see the way, it's not a signed piece, but it's very well finished, actually. And so that you can tell quality because a lot of these companies made for each other. So you'll see things that look like something marked Weiss. Well, Weiss didn't make any of their own jewelry. They had all of it made for them. So you'll see things that don't have their label that look like their quality, and that's because some other jeweler made it for them. Um, yes, I see one of you saying that you like to cook and bake, and that is a pretty pie dish. I really like those. I am not a cook, but my housemate has been learning, and that's the kind of thing that she will make cottage cheese eggs in. And I know that sounds weird, but it's actually delicious. This is a nice pin that came as well. That's a 1970s. Um, this one, I believe this is Monet, the little turtle. I always love turtles. People like things that are shaped like things. Let's see what else came. Oh, this one has a very good label on it. This is a cute little elephant, and it is marked Hobey, and Hobey is a good company. Hobey originally made costume jewelry that had real stones in it back in the 20s and 30s, and even though their later stuff didn't, they still kept that quality level and that reputation. A couple more here. This one is neat because it is black. You see a lot of this kind of black around 1970 where it's japanned. That's when the metal is colored black as well. And again, not a signed piece, but a good quality piece. You can tell by construction. This is another example. This one's a little later in time, probably around 1980, because you see the stones that are pave. Pave, if you look down the middle there, that means that you are looking at a row of stones down the middle that are not prong set. They're actually laid in. Think like paver bricks. And that's a pretty piece. I just got a message from someone saying, cottage cheese what? My housemate has come up with a recipe called cottage cheese eggs, and you bake them basically like a souffle or a casserole. And it is surprisingly good. I can't remember what else she uses in it. Like I said, I am not the cook around here. This is more of an 80s, 90s look. This one is made in Mexico, the big pumpkin. That'll be great for fall. And you can see it actually has the HO in Mexico label in the back there. And yeah, Carol Sue and I like to trade jewelry, so I told her that this will be a credit for the next time I see her. There's another piece with some nice pearls that are dangling, and there were some other pieces as well. So thank you very much, Carol Sue. That was very, very kind of you. And yes, we will have fun when we see each other again, and we'll do a trade. Miss Wildlife and Corinne Jones sent over a box full of things, and I think they're a lot of fun. Miss Wildlife just moved, and she said, I just was going through things and thinking you could use these more than I can in my new house. So, oh, you had a roommate who put A1 on cottage cheese. It actually, believe it or not, I love A1. That might be good. Okay. Mickey Mouse is absolutely a 70s thing. This is a bank. So it's got a trap on the bottom, and there's the bank on the back of the heads. Usually these are kind of banged up and the color is scraped because kids had these. So this one's in really good shape. And then this one is really fun. It's a music box. And YouTube, we can't play music because it might get us demonetized. So I won't wind him, but he does work. And this is Snoopy as the Red Baron from about 1970 when that was a really big thing. If you're old enough, you might remember they even had a song about Snoopy versus the Red Baron. And so, let's see here. This is a big old railroad lock. And railroad locks, they always have this look, but the other thing is that you look for initials on them. And this is something that for you folks who wouldn't necessarily think to look at something like this, well, sometimes these are just sitting in garages. This one is BN for Burlington Northern, back when they were not with the Santa Fe Railroad. So it has some age, and people do collect these. They usually sell, without a key, they sell for about $25. With a key, double that. And if it's an obscure railroad, for a lot more. Let's see here. I like the good old cartoons too. We are actually watching a lot of cartoons because I'm supposed to watch fun things that keep my spirits lifted. We tried watching Orange is the New Black, and it was a great episode, and one was enough for me for a while. This, I believe, is Indiana glass. I just love hanging baskets, and this one's from about 1970 and has sort of an Asian feel, not specifically so. It's a very pretty color of honey amber, though. And let's see here. A few gray hairs. Yes, I guess I am entitled, aren't I? Let's see what else I can show you. This looks like my best friend when I was 10. His parents had this car, and it was missing the same hubcap, interestingly enough. This is a 1965 Ford, and this is Japanese, and this is what they call friction drive, meaning that you run it. Sometimes you could do them backwards and not propel forwards. Other times it's just with a gear in it to make noise like a car. And this one is, this mark here in the middle is the predecessor of Bandai, who does a whole lot of stuff related to anime and video games now. So they're still in business. And yes, maybe Hubcap Dylan can find me a hubcap for that one. Let's see here. Just a moment. I'm sorry. I'm getting a... Okay. Sometimes the messages ring in while I'm doing this. I will show you a few more things, and then we'll have more haul stuff to show you, but I'll take a little time to do some questions and answers here in a minute. So these are, I'll take a few out. These are ethnographic. Somebody drew all of these, and they're based on Northwest ethnography, and a really talented artist here, actually, who did these. There's the name. It's not someone who's listed, but really very, very true to the culture here. This totem here, which is based on the Haida. The Haida were the mean tribe in this area. Most of the tribes here were not warlike. The Haida, they were the ones who would come and raid the other ones and steal from them and take their women folk and all that. They were not very nice. But there's a whole grouping of these particular things. I'll show you one more because it fell out and because I think it's really cool. And of course, all of these have significance. The totemic are always to tell a story. So I think that they're really interesting. And yes, I agree. Definitely a good artist. And someone mentioned that they would make great tattoos. And well, I'm getting enough needles right now, so tattoos do not sound appealing to me to get. But I can absolutely see where, and we do occasionally in this part of the country, in the Northwest here, see people with tattoos like that. I'll show you a few more things here just quickly. Let's see. Oh, this is fun. I think a lot of you may remember something like this. This is from Hallmark, and this one is for the Peanuts barbecue party. So they would, I don't know if you were supposed to stick these in your steaks or on the table or what, but come and get it. I just thought that was really fun. I saw someone saying it could be Arnie George. It has a different signature. It would be great if they were Arnie George because he is definitely a recognized native artist from up in Canada. This is a cute little thing. I just did a video recently on the main channel about a doll sale I went to. And this is great because I bought a bunch of dolls, but none of them had a nurser. And here we go. This one's on the original card by the Sun Rubber Company. Sun Rubber was a big company in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s era, and they made a lot of rubber cars as well. So their stuff's very collectible. Now, one thing about collecting rubber is you really want to make sure, just like rubber tires go bad just sitting there, rubber toys and other things can too. If they're not kept in good climate control, if they get hot, they will just start to crack or harden. So if you're collecting that category, do make sure to feel the thing and make sure it has some suppleness, because otherwise they can kind of get crusty. And the bottle is glass. Yes, that's right. Let me show you a couple other things. Let's see. Oh, I thought these were interesting. Miss Wildlife's family had flower farms in the old days, and I guess one of their neighbors in the town of Ording had a contract with the Queen City Dairy in Seattle, and these were the tags that they would put. And I think they were tags that went on the old milk cans. Alderton is another town in that area, and then they would send them up to Seattle to the dairy. So these are definitely interesting things, and I was very glad to get them. One other thing I'll show you really quickly, and then we'll take a break and do some questions and answers. But old National Geographics. Now, I have done a lot of estate sales, and you will see stacks and stacks of these in people's homes because it was a magazine intended to be kept. So they're not usually particularly valuable or rare, but they have some really interesting information in them sometimes. And this one, let's see here. This one I thought was really interesting because they have a whole bunch of a big article about glass, and this is 1943. They're just starting to introduce color. And so there she is, and she's got some of the things that you use in making glass and also finishing glass. And I love the glass bubbles all over. I thought that was a great picture. But they have quite a number of pictures of people in the process of glass blowing. And these are the people that worked in the West Virginia factories that we collect now. New Martinsville, which became Viking, and Blanco, and a lot of those other companies are represented in this article, which I thought was really cool. And they're also talking, of course, because it's the war years, about all the wartime uses. So National Geographic can be fun for that, as well as the advertising, because look, Spam Witch. I was raised on some of this stuff. Spam is more popular in Hawaii than almost anywhere else because during the Second World War, it was something they could ship there that did not require refrigeration, but was a meat protein. And to this day, they have a big bunch of interest in Spam, specifically in Hawaii. Whereas in Seattle, they have a Spam carving contest where they arrange bricks of Spam into blocks, and then carvers come and have a contest and carve it into all sorts of really crazy stuff. And afterwards, I think they have to throw it away because it goes bad. Somebody has said they have a National Geographic magazine with an article about real headhunters. Yes, creepy but interesting. Yeah, in World War II, there were certain areas of Africa and particularly New Guinea that people were going to because they were in the war theaters where they had never seen Westerners before. So pretty amazing. War definitely spreads culture for better or worse. And for those of you who don't like Spam, that was definitely worse. So I'm going to take a break for a moment. I do want to show you one more group of things that someone else sent. And again, thank you to everybody who's been so supportive all along. Thank you to the members of the live channel. We have credits at the end, and we actually are able to acknowledge you on the live channel now the way we do on the main channel. But also just thank you to everybody. Your thoughts, your kind words, your comments, it has been so uplifting to me, and it has really helped me at this time. I've been in really a very positive frame of mind, and except on day 9 of the insomnia, I've been able to keep myself feeling good and pretty happy, and it's not just my doing. It really has a lot to do with all of you, and I just so appreciate it. Just now, yes, Spam is popular on cell phones too. That's absolutely right. I wanted to take a moment before I go on and just throw it open to questions and answers. I know I've been talking a lot about stuff which is cool, If you have questions about my treatments and what I'm going through and what's next, I can certainly talk about that. If you have questions about what we're going to do on the main channel and what we have upcoming, we can talk about that. So I'm just going to look really quickly and see if there is anybody. I know we've got a bunch of new people who've just come into the chat as well. Yes, let's see. Oh, Tumbleweed, if you are near Spokane in October, yes, the Custer's show is supposed to be a lot bigger this time. They have a lot of new dealers coming, apparently, and I'm sure sorry I can't go. I didn't get to go to Rose City either. I can't be around. Those shows draw great crowds, which is wonderful. I can't be around big crowds right now, so I will not be able to do that. Do I have the naked jungle peoples? I do remember as an adolescent looking at National Geographic for the pictures of naked people. They're usually about this big. It wasn't really all that exciting, but it was quite interesting to me at age 12 or 13. Let's see here. I'm looking to see if there's any other specific questions, and I'll look down at the new comments and see. What if I send Zeno something? Well, I'm sure he would appreciate that. He's been really helping me from afar with, especially with ChatGPT. When my foot swelled up, I didn't really take it as being any big deal, but then he said, I think we ought to look into that. And then he sent me something back saying, it says you really need to contact your doctor. And I did. And the doctor was like, well, we can't take a chance, so go to emergency and have them look at it. It turned out it wasn't anything as critical as that, but I'm having to learn that things that ordinarily you'd say, well, it's not bothering me that much. Well, when you're dealing with a bigger thing, you have to take everything seriously and don't just try to slough it off. So anyway, Zeno has been working very hard on that and also helping get this ready tonight and getting the member credits up and all of that. So I'm sure that he would enjoy anybody saying hi. You're absorbing the American history and things. Well, that's wonderful. We'll show you some more stuff in a moment here and talk about its historic import, because we did get one more box of fun things from someone, and then we will have a sale a little bit later on as well. I've gotten through 4 treatments. I have 8 to go. So we are going to have 8 rounds of selling, and everything will start at $8 each. So stay tuned. We'll also have some giveaways in the middle of that. And if you're present, we'll tell you the secret word to put in and you'll be eligible for a giveaway. So let's see here. Yes, the Kentucky address is forwarding to me in Washington State right now. Yes, spam the broke food, the broke to mouth food of the islands. That's absolutely true. Let's see if there's any other questions. And someone said, I'm happy you're doing well and don't feel the need to push yourself too hard to post online. And it is true. I'm doing a little less with videos each month, but so far I've been able to maintain every Monday and Wednesday, and I plan to keep doing that. I've been able to get out enough in controlled environments, and I have some really fun, interesting footage. The Wednesday video in particular is a big estate sale in Bremerton, but it's being held offsite in a hall. Halls are easier for me because they're big and open. And I went late in the day, and it is amazing. So that's all I'll say about it for now, but we'll see you on Wednesday for the regular premiere. Let's see, when dealing with treatments or autoimmune crud, weird is the new normal. That is absolutely true. They said, well, your reaction is different than we've experienced in this infusion center before, but everybody reacts differently, and we're never surprised, even when we're surprised, because you just never know. And I thought, okay, well, that made me feel a little better. Let's see here. let me see if there's anything else. Yes, I miss seeing Zeno too. We'll have to, uh, when we're able to reunite, we'll definitely have to get him on video again. Have I had some good reading while I've been healing? Well, thankfully, a few people have sent me some good reading, so I will have some. Oh, another thing that's really fun that I haven't gotten to do anything with yet, but Sarah Wrinkle and Jason sent a video of them shopping in a mall in Cincinnati, and she followed up with another one and said that if I'd like to, which I do, that I can do a reaction video. And so I'm hoping to figure out how to do that. That'll be a new thing for me. And they were having so much fun. And it's so interesting watching or shopping with someone else because everyone has a different perspective and different things that interest them. And it was really fun. So the first one was, I haven't gotten to watch the second one yet. So so I have that. I have some reading to do. I I have been reading, well, I've been reading things that I can pick up and put down during the time after the treatments because I haven't been sleeping well after treatments, so I've been kind of in and out. So one thing I've been reading, and these exist in most parts of the country. I know there's one for Oregon. I know there's one for Florida. There's probably one for every state. This came from Miss Wildlife, and this is Washington State place names. And as you can see, we have some doozies here. Walla Walla is one that, if you are a Looney Tunes fan, there's an episode where Daffy Duck is a vacuum cleaner salesman for a company in Walla Walla, Washington. Other great names. Yes, Hump Tulips is an actual town here. Ilwaco, Startup, PL is not far from Centralia. A lot of these are Native American names, but then some of them are just fun. Oysterville is out on the coast, and when oysters first started to be able to be shipped by refrigeration in the 1880s, it was quite a boom town. It grew to about 1,000 people. It still only has 1,000 people, and everyone lives in a 1880s Victorian home, and they're amazing. So anyway, this is fun because it's something I can read a little bit at a time, and I'm learning a lot about this state in the process. Another thing that I've been, that she supplied, and I kind of have been collecting these for years, is housekeeping hints. And what I hope to do someday is to go through all of them and distill them down to what are the things, the old methods people use that we still can use to take care of our antiques and vintage items. So let's see here. Yes, they've done a few antique malls. Oysterville is an adorable town, absolutely. And yes, I love all the different fonts on that cover too. That was a 1970s style thing. And yes, it's just great. Walla Walla street onions, or sweet onions, are definitely something that a lot of people know too. So let's see if there's any other questions. Okay, I think that that's that. So I'm going to show you one more box that came rather unexpectedly from a viewer by the name of Helen in Mississippi. And she said, I hope you're able to sell some of these items. The contents of the box came from my grandparents' and parents' houses. My grandparents, who were born in the 1890s and retired to Daytona Beach before air conditioning, so a lot of things were ruined. Some of the pictures, which I'll show you, are ancestors from the Warsaw, New York area. My dad passed 25 years ago. I'm still going through boxes. And see, this is what happens a lot of times. You know, when people have a lot of family photos and things, I've conducted enough estate sales, and people always say, it's so terrible they're not keeping all the photos. Well, who knows who some of these people are when you get way back? If it's not chronicled, you don't know, and you don't know the connection. So, and she said that her father was a World War II pilot who graduated from the University of Washington, my alma mater in Seattle, in 1943. And a letter written to his mother said that his tuition for the quarter was $37.50. Yeah, we don't see college tuition like that anymore. But it was very kind of her, and she did send some really cool stuff that I want to share with you. I've tried to kind of boil down to the highlights because I don't want to keep you here all night. But there were a bunch of postcards, including New York at a much earlier time when the Empire State Building tower is way above everything else and there's no modern skyscrapers, so that's got to be about 1950. There are a number from Florida here, and I like this. Florida for a vacation, for a career, for a lifetime of happiness on a sunshine safari. This is pre-Disney World when it was hard to get people to move to Florida. This is Mama Papas from the Greek restaurants, which are still a fixture in St. Petersburg to this day. And here is the beach where my ancestors had the spa on Spa Beach many years ago. So that's really neat. There are a whole bunch of real photo postcards from Carlsbad Caverns. And Carlsbad Caverns, oops, that one's upside down. I love spelunking, actually. I have a little bit of claustrophobia, but for some reason that makes caves very exciting to me. Zeno and his college friend Melissa and I actually went through the cave in Mammoth Cave in Kentucky where you have to slide on your belly through mud to get from one chamber to another. I'm glad I was in the middle of that pack. If I hadn't seen a bunch of other people doing it and had no choice, I wouldn't have done it. But I'm glad I did because it was a lot of fun. And so let's see. Hawaii, this is Maui. That's this little bay up here is where treasure craft was made. And they actually do not show the town because this is before 1950. Wailuku was the big town, and then Kahului, where treasure craft was made, was actually formed in 1951. They built a jetty there, and treasure craft came about 8 or 9 years later. There's also a number of real photos of various ruins in Mexico, some which I've seen and some which I still have yet to see. My favorite was Chichen Itza. I went back when you could actually climb up the pyramid to the top, which was amazing. They don't allow that anymore. And I can see why, because when I looked down, I thought, this is really steep and dangerous. How do I get down? Let's see here. So some other things that came with, she sent this, which I love World's Fairs. I'm going to look through this one because I've never had it before. This is from the Golden Gate International Exposition, which happened in San Francisco the same year that New York had its World's Fair, which New York was not real happy about the competition. But for people on the West Coast, you could go, and this has the fold-out map of Treasure Island, which then in World War II, after the fair was over, was turned into a military base, and so there isn't much of the World's Fair left. Just a few buildings. My dad actually ended up being stationed at Treasure Island in the 1960s. It's since been decommissioned, and I think they're turning it back into a big park. Oh, Miss Oodalali, well, it's I just want to briefly say thank you. You weren't here when I went through the wonderful things that you sent, but I really appreciate it. Let's see what else is in here. I thought this was fun. This is an Excelsior diary from 1872. She said that her grandparents were born in the 1890s, and so they had some older things probably from their parents. There is the cover, and it has interesting information like when the eclipses were going to be in that year, amongst other things. This is a cute purse. It's got a holder on the back. These were made in India. We see these in the 1950s and 60s, these little clutches. And even a little before that, it's velvet with a sort of a metal, almost like filigree on it. And I think these are really cute, actually. I've always liked those when I've seen them. I do want to show you some of the daguerreotypes of the ancestors that she mentioned, because there's a whole little box here. Now, originally, a full plate back then was, a full plate photo was about this size, and then the daguerreotypes might be half size, quarter size, eighth size, and 16th size. So what we have here, this one, oh, actually, this one has a lock of somebody's hair because, yes, people saved hair as a remembrance back then. They also saved hair to stuff things with, and the Gibson girls saved hair to add like falls, like they did in the 60s. Well, they did that in the 19 teens, or even like we do now where they put synthetic hair in. Well, they would save real hair and add it to their hair. Let me find one that has somebody in it. I believe this is a 1/8 side. Now, daguerreotypes are different than tintypes. You notice that you have to kind of turn it in the light. Whoops, there we go. So that you can see the image because they were done on glass and the chemical tended to fade with age. That's why you have to keep them out of the light. But there's a handsome couple from that time. And yes, Peter Sy is actually talking a little bit. He is a photographer, and yes, plate photography is an amazing thing. And he's right. I mean, if you look at this, some of it is actually even more crisp than you would see in a digital camera now. I believe this one's a tintype. Ambrotypes, daguerreotypes, and then tintypes were after that because they were less expensive. It didn't take as much of a chemical process. But anyway, it's a fun collection here. I'm going to open one more and show you. Oh, okay. I believe this one is also a tintype. But look at that wonderful outfit that she has. That's part of the reason people collect these. The cases are called union cases, and they have design to them as well. But it is definitely an area of interest, and it has a lot to do. They can be very valuable if they show people in their Civil War uniforms, for example. Or you'll see also clues like if you see a woman holding a book, it means that she might have been a teacher, or she was at least educated, which was not always the norm back in the Victorian time. And so those things actually add value and interest to them as well. Let's see, there's a box in here. This is a neat old cigar box called City Gentleman. And this is full of little sewing items, including thimbles. Interestingly enough, we'll come on some thimbles later. I believe this one is silver. Bear with me just one moment here. And so I'm going to show you one or two more things, and then we're going to start in on our sale here. I have to show you this because somebody made fun that I was going to show my home slides next, and there are a bunch of slides in here, including modern Tokyo. These are from about 1960. There's some from Hong Kong. So no, I won't do the slideshow, but there are people who collect slides. So I think that's kind of an interesting thing. And then I want to show you just a little bit more jewelry, and then we'll get on to our sale. Somebody said that there was a private hair museum in Missouri. How interesting. That would have been something to see, actually. I did not see that when I was there. So these are old buckles and other things from about the 1920s that came from this collection as well. This one has a bracelet with it also, and I believe that this is Czech from the 1920s. Czech jewelry is really fun. This is what a lot of the flappers wore. It was inexpensive in its time. It is not inexpensive now. It typically has interesting frames, interesting glass, and it's just really showy in a way that's fun. This is also Czech jewelry. This has a safety catch, so this is probably from about 1930. Used to be that they didn't have safety catches on them. They just had a C-hook, and that meant that if you weren't careful, things would fall off. This one is a clip you can see on the back, and then there's the design on the front. Pretty blue stone in this. Hair wreaths are really getting hard to find. I'm noticing in the comments some of the things that you folks are talking about, and Yeah, I don't see a lot of that kind of thing either. So anyway, so this was a fun and interesting old collection of family things, and very, very sweet of you, Helen, to send it along. I am definitely very privileged to have the opportunity to find homes for some of this stuff, and very grateful for the folks to send it. And it was fun to show you and talk about some of it. But I think now I want to get on to our first giveaway, and then we'll start our sale. Our giveaways tonight, well, our first one here, I want to go ahead and get myself prepared here. The first giveaway that we have is this, and we're going to, let's see, I've got to find our first word. Okay, so we're going to have you put a word into the chat, and it'll be a different word for each of the three giveaways. And that way, we have Zeno is running a random picker that will pick somebody. So the word is crystal, Crystal. So if you are interested in the giveaway, please put crystal into the chat right now. And the crystal that we're giving away, actually, we are giving away some of the Swarovski crystal memories. And these are miniatures, and I'll show you this one. They're just beautiful, and they are something that I thought would be really nice for people, because I know not everybody has room for a lot of big things, but some people, they might like these if you are a doll person, or if you just like pretty little miniatures. Swarovski crystal is so well made, and this is a little trophy. And this one is from the era when the Swarovski family was still still had the business before they sold. So it has some age, and it comes with all of its paperwork and everything. So we're just going to let you folks get that word in there. And when we stop seeing new people with crystal, I see somebody named Crystal Angel is in there. And when we stop seeing more, then we'll go ahead and do this first drawing. And whoever wins the drawings, or whoever wins the bids on the sale, we're just going to need to have you send me an email at theantiquenomad@gmail.com, and I'll just need your mailing address, and then we'll get these out to you. I think we've got about 50 people who have entered at this point. So I think we're just about ready to do the drawing here. And we will need you to confirm in the chat also if you are the winner. Just let us know that you're still there, because you do have to be present to win, because otherwise we don't have a way to do this. So if there's anyone else who wants to enter, put in crystal now, and then we will go ahead and you only need to put it in once, because it's going to just pick one person. So I think we've got just about everybody, and we're going to have Zeno hit that random picker. We have no control over who wins. It is a random generator, and here we go. It will tell us in just a moment, and I think it just pops up in the chat. I think the bot does it. Leanne. Leanne, you are the winner of the first giveaway. So we'll just need you to tell us in the chat that you hear that you got it, and that you're still with us here. And I will make a note of this. So Leanne, let us know that you are here and that you got the notice that you are the winner of this piece, and we'll make sure we get it out. Okay, great. All right. She knows, and she's got it, and we'll put it aside. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to have a little live sale here. We're going to do 8 lots. The opening bid on everything is $8, and that is in honor of the fact that I have 8 treatments to go. So we will start with this piece here, and you can just put your bid in the chat. And when the bids slow down, I will say, okay, we're fair warning, and then going, gone, and we'll put bid end in the chat, and whoever the high bidder at that time is will be the winner of the bid. So The first piece we have, this is from the 1920s, and I just thought she was very sweet. 1920s and 30s are when we really see a lot of bow knot designs, and I thought the frame was very cute. Um, we're going to do a giveaway in the middle of this, by the way, and at the end. So after the fourth item, we'll do another giveaway, and then we'll do a giveaway at the end. So this is Print, the woman with the dog. I'm sure it's based on a famous painting. I don't know who the original artist was. This measures about, let's see what the measurements are here, because I won't remember it otherwise. And let's get my tape out here. I didn't think to measure this in advance, and I see some of you folks are bidding already. It is 9 inches from the bow knot to the base of the frame and 6 inches wide. So I figured something that was small enough that people might have a little bit of room on their wall for something like this. I think she's just very pretty, and the colors are really strong. This came from an estate sale in this area recently. Currently we have Nancy at $15 and Naomi at $16 is our current high bidder on this. I just thought she was very sweet. Nancy at $18. And I like the way the dog is looking very wistfully. That sort of looks like the poodle here in the house, the way he looks at us when he wants a treat. Yeah, I thought it was very sweet too. And it's a nice, you can tell it's 1920s print because it has that sort of saturation that you see in the 20s where it's subtle, and yet at the same time it's just the tree, especially here. Maxfield Parrish prints have that same thing where it's kind of there's some depth to the design. Stephanie at $21 is our high bidder now. And I see a few of you folks are interested in this, so I'll let you keep bidding a little bit. Yes, it is definitely looking adoringly at her. You know, he's sure she has a treat behind her back. You know that's what he's thinking. Okay, Nancy at 22. Stephanie and Naomi, let us know. It does have a hanger on the back that was added more recently, which is good because it's wire, and that's something I'll mention since on the subject. String is a terrible thing to use to hang pictures because string eventually, it just breaks with age. And that, I have seen some really wonderful pieces just suddenly break and fall to the ground and get messed up that way. So definitely wire is the way to go, and it's okay if you have an old string to redo it. So we are at $26 with Nancy. Les, let us know if you're still in. Otherwise, we'll wind this one down and move on to our next. And yeah, we have some fun things. I tried to bring some cute things and stuff that I thought would just be a little different. I am going to be doing a sale this Sunday. I'm going to help Heidi at Rosie's Auction House with her sale, and I will have 10 lots in it, which I'll show you behind us. That's going to be glass and ceramics and things, but tonight we have some cute stuff. Okay, well, Nancy, you are the winning bidder at $26. I will go ahead and just put in sold. And thank you very much, and just let me know when you can at the end. We do combine shipping if any of you end up with more than one thing, but I do ask that you please, even if you've bought from me many times, once in a while, for some reason, the shipping service that we use will blank out and forget somebody's information, and then I need it again. So just do send me an email at the Antique Nomad at Gmail, and we'll make sure that we get your things to you. Our next round here is, it's funny because I was talking to Kate from Follow That Bug Vintage, and she got a very large collection of these. I had a large collection, and I'm down to just 2, so these are the last 2, but it's going to be choice, and they'll start at $8 each, and they are spaghetti poodles from the 1950s. I just think these things are fun. My sister had them when I was growing up, and we have a poodle in the house here, so I notice poodle stuff now. The choice will be between this guy who is white and is in a crouching position with the pom-pom tail, and elderly poodle. Thank you for starting us out at 15. And then the other choice is this one sitting in the chair, and these are definitely 1950s. This one is holding a fan. I don't know how it does that with a big chair, and neither of them have any mark on the bottom, but they were definitely Japanese made at the time, and I think they're just really cute. So elderly poodle at $15 per choice is our opening bidder. If there's anyone else, let us know. And yes, she is quite fancy. Yeah. Well, poodles were definitely thought of as being fancy. Poodles were kind of the designer dog of the 1950s. My grandmother had one, a black one, a big black standard poodle, and they were the dog to have at a certain point. The thing I think is interesting about poodles is that everybody says, oh yes, French poodles. Poodles actually originated in Germany, believe it or not. So yes, and yes, just so you know, because I see a question there, yes, you send me an email if you're the high bidder, and then I will send you, I just need your email address for PayPal, unless you want to pay in some other way, and your shipping address, and then I can give you an invoice with the total for shipping. Okay, so we have, I don't have any macaroni Bette Midlers to go with this. So we have one bid from elderly poodle, and if no one else is bidding, we're going to sell her choice of these. So let us know. But we are going once, we are going twice, and oh, we have Don Miller now at $20. Okay, so I'm going to let you two have another moment. They are a really intelligent breed. I have to say, the poodle here in this house, they're very loyal. He's actually incredibly obedient because he went to puppy school, and he's pretty smart as a dog goes. It's nice too because they are pretty hypoallergenic, which means I can be around him right now. Okay, we have two at 25, but elderly poodle was in first, so she is the current high bidder for choice on these. Now at 27. So Don, let us know if you're still in. And again, this will be for choice. If someone takes one item, then the other item is still available to the backup bidder, unless they decide to take both items, and then they're gone. So Don is at $30 for choice, and they definitely are cute. All the little details are hand painted on the chair and the collars and all of that sort of thing. So $30 with Don. Elderly poodle, let us know if you are still in. And if not, we'll wrap this one up and see if Don takes one or both. Okay, elderly poodle is at 32. I guess I should have guessed that with a name like elderly poodle, this would be up your alley. So Don, let us know. Yes, auctions are a lot of fun, I have to say. They're fun online, they're fun in person. We used to have in-person auctions around here. There aren't so many now because more things are sold at estate sales these days. Okay, $35 choice, now the high bid. So we had 33 and then 35. So we're at $35 for choice. And there are no chips, cracks, or blemishes of any kind. Nothing I have for sale tonight has any damage. I try to be very careful about that and always disclose because, you know, in this business, your reputation is what you have. So we are at $35. Don, let us know. And I'm going to set these down for a minute. You have two poodles. Ah, okay. I do too. So 36 is our current high bid. And yeah, I think the poodle craze and the spaghetti poodles are just really fun. And let's see. Yes, the Seinfeld episode with the Bette Midler poodle joke. Yes, I remember that one too. Oh, you have a standard and a mini. That's great. Yeah, we had a neighbor at the other place that I used to stay with my housemate slash caregiver here, and she had one that was supposed to be a toy, and he ended up being a standard, and boy, is he full of energy. Okay, elderly poodle is out, so Don, you are the high bidder at 36. If you'll let us know in the chat, are you interested in the one in the chair, the crouching one, or both? And then if you take one, we'll give elderly poodle a chance at the other one. And if you take both, then they're yours. So we'll give you a moment to let us know there. And I'm going to go ahead and set them down, actually, and make a note of your name here. Yes, the poodles with pups oftentimes are missing the chains. I think kids got hold of them and started yanking on them, and they would come off, because I see them without chains as often as I see them with, it seems like, these days. So Don would like the crouching one. Very good. So that means elderly poodle, if you are interested in the one sitting in the chair, let us know in the chat. And otherwise, we'll move on. So I'm going to make a note of Don here. And, oh, well, that worked out really nicely. I love it when it works that way. So elderly poodle gets the one in the chair, and everyone goes home happy. That's great. That's oftentimes why I like to do multiples, because I figure that, it gives everybody a chance to get something that they would like. So thank you both. We'll set those aside gently. Our next items here, there's two in this lot, and again, we're starting at $8 each. So $8 is the opening bid on everything tonight. These are by Arcadia Ceramics, and they are salt and pepper shakers from the 50s, but they're miniatures, because that's what Arcadia did. That was their specialty, is doing really, really little ones, which, we're not supposed to have a lot of salt these days, right? So the choices between the thimble and spool, and you can see on the top of the thimble, it says, oh boy, it says a bunch of stuff that is hard for me to read, so I'll hold it up to the camera, then we can read it together. No silver among the gold. Oh, no silver threads among the gold. Oh, that's cute. There's a little bit of wear on the thimble part. And then the other one is a boudoir set. And what this one is a little mirror with a ribbon or a bow knot, and then the brush and comb. And so this is the choice. They're both by Arcadia Ceramics. They are both salt and pepper shakers. The hole in the top of this one, you can see this one, the hole is on the back here. These were made in the early 50s. Eventually, they were bought by Hagen Renneker, the people involved in them, and eventually they quit making the salt and pepper shakers. But the miniatures actually, these typically sell for about $15 to $20 each. So if anyone is interested, $8 choice is the opening bid, and let us know in the chat. I know we have some sewers out there, and it definitely is the right amount of salt for a lot of people these days, which is not a whole lot. Interestingly, too, Arcadia rarely had a cork in theirs. They would actually have something in the package that said, just put a piece of tape on the bottom, which I always thought was funny. So we've got a couple folks interested. Elena is the high bidder, and now Lena, $25 choice. And I will try to hold these all at once if I can do it without breaking them. Again, I do want to point out that the thimble does have just a little bit of wear on it. But, oh, great for shaking cinnamon. Now, that is a good idea. And cinnamon is something that I have a friend who was suffering from pre-diabetes and headed that way. And he started having cinnamon in yogurt every day, and it actually reversed it. So Cinnamon is a good thing too. Elena at $30 per choice now. So $30 choice is the high bid. And Lena let us know. And otherwise, we will sell them and move on because we've got a few more things here. I think we'll have one more round of sales and then we'll do our next giveaway. Masking tape is great. Oh, Ace Hardware Store stock various sizes of tiny corks. That is really good information. I had no idea. Thank you for that. It's really fun doing this with a lot of you watching because everybody knows something and we all help each other out. And that's what I really love. You know, I have people say, oh, you know so much about things. Well, I only know what I've learned from other people. And I figure my job is to be that person for you folks and I get it back in return. So cinnamon is not good if you have high blood pressure, though. That is true. Yeah, he was told to only do so much for that reason. So I think he does a teaspoon. So let's see if we don't have another bid here. We're going to go ahead and sell this. Elena at $30 per choice is our current high bidder. So we're going once. We're going twice. And we're going to put in sold. And that means Elena Pittman, you are our high bidder for choice at $30. And so let us know if you are interested in the boudoir set, the mirror set. Okay, very good. And I will make a note of that. And there we are. All right. Okay, let's see. Ah, yes, our next round, and we'll do a giveaway after this, but these will start at $8 each too, and they are silhouettes, and I just think they're really cool because they've got the gold background, and especially these because I love the skirts. They did them in kind of a herringbone pattern. It's almost like the Whiting and Davis mesh purses. I just really like that look, and these again are starting at $8 each, and I'll show them to you individually. This one, for full disclosure, there's one little bump on the back of the frame. I'm not sure how they did that. But this is what she looks like up close. I really like the way that they did the vase and the dress with the pink. And we have Lena at 25 for choice as our current high bidder. These measure about 5 inches square. And then the other one, these are the quarters. And they are, well, he's holding her hand. I'm not sure if he's just holding it to be nice or if he's giving her a ring or what. I love the striped pants. I always wanted to have a zoot suit. And so I just thought they were quite charming. Lena, $25 at choice. Elena let us know. And yeah, these are fancy actually. They're a little fancier than the usual with these. Okay, Elena for $30 per choice. And Lena will let us know. And he's going to be in trouble in no time. Well, you know, that's how that works, I guess. Lena, $35 for choice. Elena let us know. I thought this was kind of cute on the back of it. This one says that it was presented to the Rainbow Drill Team State Champions of 1939 from the Rainbow Assembly number 17. And yes, that is really cute, isn't it? The silhouette has a silhouette in the background. I think that's really cute. A couple of you noticed that. And I thought that was very clever too. Sort of, what do they call that? Meta now? So Elena, let us know if you're still in. Otherwise, we will sell Lena her choice, and we will let you have the backup if she only takes one. But we will let you know. Okay, so Lena, this is your choice. $35 each. I'm going to go ahead and put in sold. And Lena, let us know in the chat if you are interested in one or both. Both. Okay, very good. I know you collect these, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with them. So we'll put that down for you. Thank you. And then we are going to go ahead and have our second giveaway here. And yes, 2 times the money, as they say in the auction business. That's right. I've got to work on that because I know that Heidi at Rosie's Auction House, when I help her with the sale, is going to have me do some of the bid calling. The way that sale works, by the way, is the things behind me are the things I'm going to be putting in the sale. And I believe they're actually on her site already. You can pre-bid, and then there will be a live bidding starting with whatever the pre-bids are on Sunday morning. I think that starts at 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, let's see. We're going to do our next giveaway, and this is also a Swarovski piece. Let me just make sure I've got to coordinate here. Yes, the keyword for this one is going to be watercolor. All one word. Watercolor is the word to put in the chat right now, and that will make you eligible to win this particular piece. I've got to get the right one. I can't do that one again. Here we go. This is the right one. All right. This is another Swarovski Crystal Memories, and this one's really cute because what it is a saxophone on a stand. I thought this was really neat. So that's what it looks like right there. And it's got the pads and everything. It looks like the tenor sax I played back in high school because it's got that arch to it. So I think that's really cool. And there's its little stand so you can stand it up in your case. So watercolor is the magic word if you are interested in being in the running to have the Swarovski piece. This one has a little different paperwork than the other one, and it is one word. Please run watercolor all together because that's what the automatic picker is going to be looking for, not 2 separate words, and not the English spelling with the U. It's Watercolor. This little booklet actually talks all about, boy, it's quite complicated actually, and it shows a lot of the other pieces they made, like the wonderful birds with the colored beaks on the branch. So this would be a fun thing if you are interested in Swarovski collecting. It also says it has a warranty. Warranty and repair. Well, I don't think you're going to get your saxophone repaired, and I'm sure the warranty expired 25 years ago, but it's there anyway with its certificate, and we're just waiting for everybody to get the word watercolor in, and then we will have the picker pick for us. There is the original box. These were expensive little gifts when they were new, actually. They definitely were spendy. I think they went for $35 or $40 each because Swarovski is really, really, really good crystal. They did most of the high quality crystal that was used in jewelry in this country before World War II and then after as well. So they are no longer doing crystal for jewelry other than the jewelry that they make. They are not selling their crystals outside of the company anymore. So those days are over. And let's see, we've got, okay, Nightbot has run, and I guess it went to Elderly Poodle because that's everyone's saying congratulations. So, well, very good, thank you, and that's great. We'll put it together with your poodle. So I will make a note of that real quickly, and then we'll go on and sell 4 more things before we wrap up here. Let me quickly check this message. We're doing a little coordination here. Oh, for some reason I'm getting the messages that we already got. So we have our winner there. All right. Our next round is going to be, these came from, you may have seen me pick these up. These came from an estate sale in Olympia, the state capital of Washington, and they are both tonal, but they are specifically, let's get it so it's upright. They are specifically Ken Edwards' signature. So $8 each is the opening bid on these. The tile is approximately 4 inches square with the painted flower in the blue. And you can see up close all the detail in these. And we have Deb's Finds opening us up for $8 choice. Thank you. And then the other one is this interesting. This is about 6.5 inches from top to bottom. It's this interesting shape. It's sort of like a modified spade shape. And yes, I like Ken Edwards as well. And Ken Edwards, there's the KE mark. That's how you know. Both of them have it. That one's very clear. This one is a little more of a squiggle, but that is how you can tell Ken Edwards. So Ken Edwards is definitely important. Ken Edwards was an American who, he just passed away the last couple of years. He was an American who went to Mexico, was quite taken by it, wanted to stay there, saw the potters in Tlaquepaque, really liked the free form images that they were doing, but realized that the big drawback was they were using lead in the glaze. And a lot of what they were doing was dinnerware, and it was not something that Americans were willing to buy because of that. And so he formed the Palomar pottery and showed them how to use lead-free glazes. So that's one of the reasons collectors have really discovered it now, is because it is lead-free. And this again will be choice. I think he did the fetish figures later. Yes, that's correct. I noticed that in the comments here. Yeah, the fetishes came later as well. And we have $16 choice now with Deb's Finds. And I know Maggie thinks these are interesting, and so does Naomi, and so do a lot of people. It's really become very collectible the past 5 or 10 years. I remember as a child, we used to see these pretty commonly in the markets around San Diego. And then it seemed like they just weren't there anymore. And now they're all in, they seem like they're really becoming popular and in collections now. Naomi, you were at $15, but we do have a bid of $16. Your parents accidentally collect Tomola because it's, I believe it's actually Tonala, if I'm getting the accent right, because they found it super cheap at local thrift stores, and it used to be you would. Didn't the fetish have something to do with his students? That is a good question. I have to be honest, I don't know that part of the history as much as some of you folks, I think, do. So if someone knows the answer to that, put it in the chat, please. $17 now for choice with Maggie. Yeah, we had a cat, as I recall, as a kid, and then when we moved away from California, my mom let it go, so we don't have that piece in the family anymore, and I keep looking for it. I haven't found it yet. $18 with Deb's Finds. Tonala, thank you, Carlos. That's right. I knew the accent wasn't on the end, but I could not remember. So Tonala is the correct pronunciation. I'm really glad that people help me out with pronunciations. I do tend to mangle foreign languages. I'm trying to learn Spanish, but it is a slow process. Zeno is rather gifted with linguistics, and I have to say I am not. So we're at $18 each, or $18 choice with Deb's Finds. Everyone else, let us know if you're still in, and we'll let it run until you indicate one way or another, because we don't want to short anybody, but we also have a few more things and one more giveaway to do as well. So we're at $18 choice. If anyone else is in, let us know, or out. Okay, now $20 with Michaela. And I'm hoping I'm saying your name right, Michaela Kinney, I believe. And now $24 choice with Deb's Finds. And it's interesting too, the signatures below, I assume are artists or decorators because we have an L on one and something that looks like the number 8 on another one. Okay, good. I'm glad I got your name right at least. I maybe, ooh, let's not break them. Okay, so it looks like Deb's Finds is the high bidder for choice at $24. And we're going to sell this now. And the shape of the Star Trek emblem, yes, that's right. I know there's a name for this shape, and I don't know what it is. So Deb's Finds, please let us know if you're interested in one or both. And we will either have both set aside for you, or we will offer one to the backup bidder. And so I'll give you a chance to let us know that in the chat. The spade, okay, very good. I will make a note of that. And I think our backup was Michaela. Let us know if you're interested in the tile. And I will make a note of Deb here. I'm going to go ahead and set this down. So just let us know in the chat if you're interested in the tile, Elena, and we'll go ahead and get ready for our next round. Let's see, we have 3 more lots to do. And okay, Michaela, you may have the tile. Thank you very much. And again, everybody, just please do send me an email to the antiquenomad@gmail.com, and that will get us rolling on getting you an invoice. Okay, this next group, again, starting at $8 each, is going to be a choice of child's ducks, and they're rather different from one another. One of them is Carnival Glass, and one of them is Sunbonnet Sue. And we'll show these in a little more detail. And again, $8 each is the opening bid on these. The Sunbonnet Sue are hand-painted, and it has sort of a free-form look to it, which I think is very cute. Sunbonnet Sue you see represented on quilts and all sorts of things. Very popular in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. This one is on a blank that I believe is from the 1940s. This is MZ Austria. And I can't remember what the MZ company was, but we do see a number of porcelain items made by them in this period of time. And Bridget, thank you. $10 is our opening bid for choice here. And then this one, the Carnival Glass, this is Little Bo Peep. And you can see that she has her sheep on both sides. So she either has found it or has not lost it yet. And this is cute. This sort of Carnival Glass with this round handle. I believe that this piece is probably 19... the style is old enough to be 19 teens or 20s from the original Carnival Glass era, but this is a little bit shinier. So I actually think this is 1950s Carnival Glass on an older blank. The 50s are when the Carnival Glass started to be produced again by Fenton and Imperial and a lot of other companies. This one does not have a maker mark on it, but the 1950s and on is a little shinier. It has more of that aspect. It's not quite as mellow a carnival iridescence as the original from the 19 teens. So they're both very cute. I really like Child's dishes. The prices on them are pretty reasonable nowadays. There was a time when there were a lot of people who remembered having these in their childhood, were collecting them, and the prices were really, really up there. And now we're a little farther out from that, and so it's more people who think they're cute and want them for today. And so they are a more accessible collectible than they used to be. Bridget is our high bidder at $13 for choice, and now Dawn at $15. There we go. I just think they're really cute, and they're big enough These are actually big enough that you could have a decent cup of coffee in them if you're a coffee drinker. I am a tea drinker, as you saw earlier. And I think the detail on this one is really good, which is nice. You see all the detail in the hair. It's a good mold. You know, molds, after they get used for a while, they start to wear out. So you can tell a piece, especially with ceramics, but also with glass, if it's earlier in that mold's life. You know, an average mold, I know in pottery, might make 300 pieces, and then you start to lose the detail and they have to make another mold. Um, and we have Bridget at 17, now Don at 20, $20 per choice. And again, this one, it's a professionally made porcelain piece, but I actually think, because even though it's pretty good, you notice the painting on the bottom is not precise, and there's sort of a freeform aspect. So I suspect this was sold as a blank and then decorated by somebody who just didn't take credit for their work. Don at $20, and Bridget is out. So Don, I'm going to go ahead and sell this to you for choice, and then you can let us know. So Don Curtis, let us know which one is for you. And if you want both of them, you may have them, of course. And if not, we'll let Bridget have the option of the backup. So we'll give you a moment to decide about that. And again, conditions good on each. I don't see any fading or washing out of the Carnival. And you would like Sunbonnet's suit. That's great. We'll put her aside and make a note of that. So Don gets Sunbonnet Sue at the price of $20. Bridget, let us know if you are interested in Little Bo Peep, and if you are, we will put her aside for you. You can let us know in the chat. And if not, well, then we'll move on to the next. We've got two more. This will be our penultimate here. I'm going to set that down, and you can just let us know. And somebody said, love gets the job done. And that really is true. I think that's a nice way to live. Okay, so. Okay, Bridget, let us know, because Tumbleweed said they'll take it if you don't, but we're going to let you have first dibs because you were the backup bidder. So as soon as we know one way or another, we'll move on there. But I want to make sure I don't miss it in the chat. So Bridget, if you'll let us know if you are interested in it as the backup, and if not, it'll be for Tumbleweed. And okay, Bridget will take the Carnival glass piece. So Tumbleweed, I rarely have multiples of one thing, but I actually had two of those that came together. So if you are interested, send an email and I'll make sure the other one is still available. Okay, the penultimate here, I bought thimbles at the doll sale that I showed you recently, and I thought these were more interesting than the usual. So again, we're going to start these at $8 each. We have a metal one from China with a lot of enameling on it, and then we have another one that was made by an English porcelain maker in Staffordshire, and it's well marked on the inside. It's somewhere, if we can see it. There we go. It's a little hard to read, but this one is actually Jane Seymour. Okay, Tumbleweed, that's great. I'll look for that email. So yes, Jane Seymour, and again, these are starting at $8 each. Jane Seymour was the one wife of Henry VIII who he really liked. She was the one who died, I believe, in childbirth with Edward or shortly after she gave birth, actually, to Edward VI. Edward VI was the one male child that, well, hello there. Elena is at $12. Hi, Pamela Blanchard. You're at 11, but Elena is at 12, is our current high bidder for choice. Yes, Jane Seymour was Henry VIII's favorite wife, and she died only a year after they were married. She was the lady in waiting to Anne Boleyn, and she didn't have to wait long. It's a good thing that this isn't the Anne Boleyn thimble, because that would be in bad taste since it's just her head. But this is a very sweet hand-painted piece from a good English company. And then the Chinese piece is, here we go. Yes, that's right. Okay, 9 days after she gave birth. So she essentially died in childbirth, like my great-grandmother did. That ran in my family too. And then this is the Chinese piece. It is not sterling silver, but it's a nice metal piece with a lot of enameling, and you see there's a bluebird on the side. This one is larger. Larger doesn't necessarily have to do with the fact that it was made in China. It's just how they were being used, if they needed a bigger cap for the finger. This one would have been intended to actually be used. This one, I believe, was made as a collectible piece and probably never was used. Okay, we have Sarah at $20 for choice now is our high bidder. And Don, thank you for appreciating my sense of humor. This not everybody does. Okay, yeah, let me turn this so you can see the bird. The Chinese one, I believe, was made sometime during nationalist China, so probably in the 1930s or 40s. And the Staffordshire one of Jane Seymour is actually more likely to date to sometime around the 1970s, or even the early 80s, when thimble collecting became popular and a lot of them were done as novelties. So we have Sarah at $20. Oh, it's a bat. Okay, thank you. I was not sure at first, and I was actually going to say a bat, and now I see it. You're right, because look at the head. Oh yes, look at the little face. I have to say, I think bats are fascinating and quite interesting, and actually a very necessary thing. They eat a lot of mosquitoes and other insects we don't like. I realize that some people are afraid of bats, but they're actually quite benevolent creatures mainly. We just associate them with vampires, so they've got a bad rap. Let's see here. We are $20 with Sarah, and we are going to sell this unless any of you other folks are still in. Elena, let us know. The bat is auspicious and good luck in China. Yes, exactly. See, it's interesting. Different cultures, you know, here the bat is considered scary, and in China it's considered auspicious. All right. We are going once. We are going twice. And we're going to go ahead and sell this. And Sarah, you have first choice, and I think I know from your comment which one you are interested in, so we'll put that aside. If you also want Jane Seymour, let us know. Otherwise, Elena Pittman, you are the backup bidder, and if you're interested in Jane Seymour, let us know. So we will put Sarah down for this. And so I saw a bat that was mummified and framed at an antique mall today. My antique mall story with a bat was I was visiting relatives in Delaware. We went to an antique mall in Newark, and a bat flew in, and everybody freaked out. And it went into the basement, and I said, I remembered from childhood, because one came into our school in elementary school, and I watched what the janitor did. He took a broom, which is what I did. I got a cake pan with a lid in the bottom. I took a broom. I was able to hit it enough to knock its radar and make it senseless for a moment without really hurting it. I managed to get the cake pan bottom underneath, put the lid on top, and then we walked it to the door, and off the bat flew. And as I watched the bat fly, I noticed that there was a tornado coming towards us in the distance. So then we all ran into the basement because the bat was gone and waited for the tornado to pass. It was quite a trip. Okay. No word on that, so I'm going to assume that we're going to pass on the Jane Seymour, but we'll have her for another time. That brings us to our very last Oh, Millerton Antiques in New York. Interesting. Yeah, Bats and East Coast Antique Mall seem to go hand in hand. So that brings us to our very last choice here, and these are two handkerchief. I hear them called handkerchief dolls, but they're not really dolls. They're actually plaques, and they were done in the 1930s and 40s. And yes, that's right. $8 is the opening bid. $8 will be the opening bid for these. This is the last round we have, and then we'll do a giveaway. And so we have the one in the metal frame, and we have the one against the black background. These were popular to do as home craft in the 1930s and 40s. It sure looks like a lot of work to me, and they called them handkerchief ladies because handkerchiefs were the basis for it. The big dresses were made with the handkerchiefs. And I will measure these for you. So we have this one in the metal frame. This one actually has a metal frame that stands up, whereas this one is a wall hanger. Not that you couldn't hang them both. And yes, I found two. It was great. I always look for these, and I had one in my inventory and then found another and thought, well, you know what? That way, maybe more than one person could have one. So Janet at $9 is our opening bidder, and now Inhale at 10. And gosh, it's nice to have Pamela Blanchard with us. She does a lot of fun sales too. Foxy Von Red at 15 is now our high bidder for choice. And it's so great to have all of you here. Thank you. I really am enjoying getting to catch up with you. And it's nice to, I know people want to know how I'm doing, and it's nice to give an update, but it's sure a lot more fun to go on and talk about stuff and what we're doing and show fun things and have a sale. So I'm glad that you're all enjoying it. Foxy at $20 for choice, now our high bidder. Let me measure these for you. I said I was going to do that, and I didn't. So if my tape is handy here, if not, I can estimate pretty well. They are approximately, this one is about 10 inches by 8 inches in the image area, and they really are pretty much the same size. So about 10 by 8, 10 by 8, maybe 10 by 9 with the frame. Janet at $21 for choice is our current high bidder, and now Foxy at $25 for choice. Yeah, I just think they're really sweet. And, I don't buy a lot of things that are handmade, but this is something that I definitely make an exception for because there's a real artistry to this. I mean, I can't even imagine taking this much time to do something like this. So $25 for choice, Foxy Von Red. Yes, you are the current high bidder at choice. It doesn't stay on the screen for very long, but you are the current high bidder. Janet let us know. Otherwise, we will let Foxy have her choice, and then if there's one left, the backup bidder will be the second one. And yes, I agree, Pamela. These are really pretty. They certainly remind me of the Southern Belles with those dresses. Naomi at 26, now Foxy Von Red at $30 for choice. And it's interesting how they both are holding big bouquets. There is definitely a similarity between these, even though they came from absolutely different parts of the country. Okay, and Foxy did bid 31st, so she is still in the lead position on this. And now 35. And if you are lagging, go ahead and hit refresh. We'll give you a moment because we want you to be up to speed here. $35 choice now is the current high bid on these. So Naomi is out. Thank you. It does look like silk ribbon, and they usually had a handkerchief in there somewhere as a base. Generally, the faces were paper. These may be more silk ribbon, even though handkerchief is sort of the euphemistic saying for this. I think you might be right about that. The gold frame is metal. Yes, that's correct. And yes, these are getting harder to find. Okay, Janet said, thank you, I'm out now. So Foxy, we're going to sell these to you, choice. So we'll put sold in here. But stay tuned, we're going to have one more giveaway. So Foxy Von Red, let us know if you are interested in both of these or just one, and if so, which one. And then the backup bidder will have an opportunity for the other one if she wishes. So we'll give you a moment. You want the pink background. Okay, very good. So this one is for you. Janet Pogue, you are the backup bidder. If you're interested in the one with the black, let me know. And I'm going to make a note that Foxy is getting the pink background. Okay, so yes, Marcy says she has a collection of these, and I can see why. I think they're really great. I've seen multiples on a wall, and they're just really cool together. So, Janet, if you're interested in the other one, let us know. Otherwise, we'll move on to our final giveaway here. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the word now. You can start putting in the comments. The word for the final giveaway is memory. Okay, Janet would like the black one. That's great. Okay, that will be for you then. And okay, we're going to do the final giveaway. Well, thank you too, Janet. So, okay. Our final giveaway is one more Swarovski piece, and this one is one that actually shows it on the box. This one is the miniature lamp. And memory is the word. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. Actually, I should say memories. So I'm going to hold this up because it's crystal memories. So put memories in. Sorry, I apologize. But let's do memories. There you go. If you typed in memory, please retype memories because the picker is going to look for that word. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think we're getting it right now. My mistake on that. So memories, I'll go ahead and take it out and show it to you while we get all of that. Yes, Deej, I think you're right, absolutely, that I need to drink more water. I've been trying really hard. I have a bunch that has watermelon and cucumber in it for electrolytes. Okay, there is the little lamp, and that's what it looks like. So, yeah, very cute. I do think these are really neat and sweet, and they are from an earlier period of Swarovski. We're in a different era now, so... and this one actually has, whoops, let's not drop it. This one actually has an outer sleeve to the box, and I just want to make sure this message isn't regarding this. Okay, there we go. All right. Does everybody have memories in? If so, we're going to go ahead and draw. Going to make sure everybody has a chance. And we will know in just a minute. Yes, the herbal teas, yeah, all of this stuff. And you've supplied me well, all of you, so I will get on that. All right. We're going to do the drawing here very shortly. Emily, you are the winner, so please reach out to me at theantiquenomad@gmail.com. Go ahead and, Emily, also tell us in the chat that you did see that, because we want to make sure that you know. So we're going to wait for Emily, and Betty Cummings, I see you got in a little bit late, but I was so glad that you sent me your information so we could send you what you won in the last one. And so, Emily, I'm going to put your name down. And you did. Okay, very good, Emily. Well, thank you very much. I have your name here, and we'll await your information and get those sent out to you. I wanted to just briefly mention a couple of things that I'm doing this week before we go. Tomorrow I will be on the Nurse Flipper as a panelist. I decided this was my week to do all my live stuff while I'm feeling up to it and breathing well. Nurse Flipper tomorrow night, I believe that is at 8 p.m. Eastern on her channel. And I know that Catherine Young will be there. I'm not sure who the fourth panelist is, but it's fun because I know that Catherine is an antique and vintage person too. And so we always have fun conversation there. And then again, I believe it is Sunday. Yes, Sunday the 27th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I will be on Rosie's Auction House, and the items behind me here, I'm going to move out of the way so they can focus a little bit. These are the items I'll be bringing, but there will be about 70 lots, and you can go to Rosie's Auction House now and take a look, and you can pre-bid on things. That is a Dave Fetty feather-pulled vase on the left there, a Fenton shoe in an unusual color. There's a piece of Murano glass, paperweight by Eicholt, a Blanco apple, a Bugs Bunny 1940s planter. There's also a paperweight by Phoenix Studio, two Sasha Brostoff pieces, and a cute little pocket mirror from about 1910. So those are my offerings for the sale. So you can go check that out. And I thank you very much for joining me for this update and having fun with me this evening. It's just really good to be with all of you and to let you know that things are going okay, and we're going to keep updating you every month this way. I appreciate all of you for being in my corner. It just feels really good. So with that, I'm going to say good night and thank you for everything, and we'll see you again soon. And here we